I hope you guys are sitting down because this one is going to be a long one. Now, I have been meaning to do a video on DreamWorld for a while now. This is a game that has probably been the most requested for me to cover, and I opted to delay covering it purely because I didn't want to indirectly help fund it. See, just let me give you guys a little bit of backstory here. DreamWorld is an indie developed MMORPG. They stated that they were looking to acquire approximately $10,000 in funding, which is an absolutely asinine amount because you can't really accomplish anything with $10,000 worth of funding for an MMO. Otherwise, I would make an MMO literally next month. Over the course of, I think it was about 10, maybe 12 days, they raised about the $10,000 they needed. So almost halfway through their Kickstarter, they had just barely met their goal. And then there were a couple of different content creators here that went out and decided they were going to do dedicated videos on it. And then over the course of the next 2 weeks, they went from having just barely $10,000 to finishing at almost $65,000. So the reason I personally did not want to cover DreamWorld wasn't because I didn't want to talk about it, but it was because I did not want to be indirectly helping them fund their game, because there are going to be players, our viewers, that look at this game and go, you know what, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. You know what, that actually looks like it could potentially be cool. So they go and they fund the game. So these players are now discussing this. For the people that didn't fund it, you now have the attention of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, meaning that you are partially responsible for hyping up this game. So when they met their goal and they raised almost $65,000, that is $65,000 that was taken at our viewers' expense. And I did not want to be a part of that. And I know that some people did, and that is perfectly understandable. I get it. This is YouTube. You guys need views. Doing videos like this, they garner views. Trust me, I understand. But I personally didn't want to cover it. That is why I omitted the name from the video I did about 2-3 weeks ago discussing how they wanted to pay me to have my video taken down. But you know what? That is just why I opted to disregard doing a video on this game. But now that the Kickstarter is over, I feel more than comfortable doing a video on this because I would like to hopefully here address the game and prevent more of you guys from investing money into it if you haven't already. Now, let's start by talking about what this game is. First and foremost, they go on to state that this is the last game that you will ever play. I don't know why that is. Is it because the game is just that amazing? Is it because they're gonna hold you at gunpoint, and if you ever decide to leave the game, they're gonna shoot you? I don't know. That just, to me, sounds very violent. The Infinite Open World MMO. Infinite Open World. So by that logic, I'm assuming they mean that they are going to continue to expand the world. It is going to be ever evolving, which is going to be incredibly difficult to do because even World of Warcraft, even Final Fantasy XIV, The Elder Scrolls Online, all which have hundreds of millions of dollars worth of funding, struggle to include more than just a few different zones with each expansion. Sculpt the world and create with a massive catalog of objects. So essentially, this is going to be kind of like a crafting MMO where you can craft objects, buildings, gear. One single world, millions of players occupying one single world. That is impossible and not even plausible because I'm gonna be honest with you guys here, even the most populated MMORPG right now, World of Warcraft, which has, I don't know, as of Shadowlands, maybe 4 million, maybe 6 million players, doesn't have more than several hundred players occupying a specific zone at any given time. Like, I did World PvP, and the lag you would get when there were more than 100 people in a zone at the same time literally locked you in place for multiple seconds. You would teleport around, you would see enemies teleporting around, you couldn't do anything. Like, how are you supposed to prevent that kind of lag from happening when there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all in the same zone? Explore thousands of unique biomes. And by biomes, they mean individual zones, because that's essentially what they are in Minecraft and various other games. There are a limited number of biomes that can exist. I know that there are things like forests, there are snowy regions, desert regions. Like, I'm not gonna say that there can't be 10, 20, 50 different biomes, but thousands of unique biomes. How are they going to come up with this, like, creatively? I can see that there's like a candy ice cream cake looking biome that they are listing in this little GIF here, but at the same time, like, unless they have everyone look entirely unique, like, I don't even know how you could have thousands of unique looking biomes. I just cannot, like, fathom that. I cannot process that statement. I don't know if you guys can or not. Fight and tame DreamWorld's incredible creatures. So they're going to have a taming mechanic, a taming feature. So is this something like Pokemon then? So they are the unique selling points for DreamWorld. And with the exception here of the ability to create a massive catalog of objects, none of the other features listed seem remotely plausible. But you know what? Let's continue reading down a little bit here. We are a Y Combinator company. Y Combinator is where Twitch, Airbnb, DoorDash, and far more all got their starts. Clicking on over to the official Y Combinator website listing for DreamWorld, their team size is 2 people. They were founded in 2020. They are located in San Francisco. The company is founded by Garrison Belak, who is the CEO of DreamWorld, a competitive gamer and engineering lead, previously at Google, Facebook, and Apple. Doesn't state what he did at Google, Facebook, or Apple. And Zachary Kaplan, who says, "Hey, my name is Zach, nice to meet you. I consider myself a maker, an adventurer, a doer, and an entrepreneur. I'm now creating the virtual world DreamWorld with my co-founder and best friend Garrison. Born and raised in Silicon Valley, left for 3 years to experience New York City. Now I'm back to create the most inspiring and digital space in existence. Let's have some fun." Much love to all that right there. The most inspiring digital space in existence with a $10,000 budget. Really? Now going back to the Kickstarter, we know MMOs cannot be built with just $10,000, evidently. For those of you that are unaware, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, The Elder Scrolls Online, they were all created in the range of over $100 million. MMOs typically cost millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to develop, but that does not factor in the maintenance for the game, weekly maintenance, monthly maintenance. That does not factor in the cost of additional development outside of or exceeding the launch. We have secured the majority of our funding from some of the best investors in Silicon Valley. We know that we will be able to deliver our alpha and beyond with the money we already have. Now, before we go any further, again, I know I'm segueing into something else here, but they mention here that they have secured almost all of the funding that they need from some of the best investors in Silicon Valley. So they didn't need this money. This money that you have given them is literally, in their words, just pointless, useless. However, the trailer they released for this game uses Unreal Engine store assets. None of them are owned, none of them are developed, none of them are designed by either of these two guys. They literally went to the store, they purchased these assets from the store, and then they made a trailer with those assets and sold the game as what we're seeing. Yet they claim to have secured the majority of the funding that they need for this game via outside investors. Yet when you look at some of their development videos, it looks like they fixed a laptop there and are using a $200 laptop's webcam because they don't even have like a 1080p HD webcam to use. They have no lighting whatsoever. Their audio quality is terrible. Like, these are people that do not look like they have a cent ready to invest into this game, but according to them, they don't need any of your money. But anyway, we are here on Kickstarter building community. I feel like someone probably should have proofread this because there have been multiple grammatical errors in it thus far. We want to grow our player base and offer fun in-game items as an introduction to DreamWorld's closed alpha. All of the money pledged here still matters. If we raise enough, we'll be able to hire an additional full-time engineer to bring you alpha features even faster. But if you guys had the funding that you needed, which is the majority of it from some of the best investors in Silicon Valley, why didn't you have engineers and developers already working on developing an alpha? Like, what? If you want to learn more about us, come and talk with our users in Discord that have been playing every DreamWorld weekly update for the last 8 months. And essentially all they're playing are Unreal Engine store assets, which anyone can do. I clicked their Discord link, just quick FYI here, and they have a verification process in place that is just way too much effort for me to have to invest to verify my identity. I don't really feel like verifying who I am by allowing them access to my Twitter or my YouTube channel or anything like that. So I've opted to not join their Discord. I really wanted to because I would have loved to have discussed the game with the quote-unquote developers. Now going down further, they have 2 hours of pre-alpha prototype gameplay. This was streamed to a very small Twitch channel, and honestly, it doesn't really look like anything special at all. In DreamWorld, you can permanently impact everything you see, cut or plant every tree, mine every mountain, turn every resource into your creation. An adventure is always better with friends. Meet, fight, quest, and build with millions of other people in the world around you. Find, tame, hatch, and raise your own loving companions. Each creature will react to you differently. Learn how to approach every animal to create incredible bonds or sometimes get eaten. Now, all of these features are great in theory, but I'm gonna be honest with you here. I could have thought these up. I could have bought these assets, and I could have made a Kickstarter like this and gotten $70,000, maybe $100,000 or more off of you guys too. The only difference is I have a YouTube channel and therefore would be held accountable for taking all of this money from you. These guys are not. Now, let's see their stretch goals. $70,000, a merch store? Wait. So you have to give them $70,000 and then they will open a store selling merch for you guys to buy. Okay, $150,000. Mystery Kickstarter exclusive pet given to every backer from $29 tier and up at no extra cost. And $250, they thought this game was gonna raise a lot of money for no reason, again, because they don't need it. $250,000, first DreamWorld event concert, exclusive event items, pets, outfits, and more, whole city celebration. Add-ons, we have tons of pets and mounts for you to choose from. For Kickstarter exclusives, the golden antlered elk, the green fox, the green spider, and the green rock panther. These add-ons can be added to any pledge tier at checkout. Then you have the Dread Dreamlord Kickstarter exclusives, the DreamWorld Pantheon. Now scrolling down to the bottom, DreamWorld is my dream come true, and I'm so excited to share it with you. We're so excited about how far DreamWorld has come in such a short amount of time, but we have so many more things planned. Rally the troops, we need your support. We're charging forward with everything we've got at this monster project. With your pledge support, we will grow the team to make this dream a reality. Now, scrolling down, it looks as though this was initially conceived in June 2020, and in May 2021 the official closed alpha is going to begin. That's literally just next month. A couple weeks from now, you're going to be able to get in game and play something that uses entirely store-bought assets that they have no creative control over, that they did not design whatsoever. Let's see where we're at. 2 full-time developers, 1 part-time developer, 8 months of development. While we don't have all the features in the video yet, we have a massive procedurally generated world that is entirely deformable, a large catalog of 3D objects for you to build from, basic combat, the multiplayer capacity to have thousands playing together, a massive, amazing community, and weekly feature edition. Their midterm goal: we will update the alpha nearly every week, bringing more gameplay, more content, and the changes that you request. The alpha trailer is our roadmap, and over the next 6 months, we aim to have everything you see in DreamWorld. An infinite procedurally generated world, a player-driven economy based on creating useful in-game items, unique biomes, which they went on to mention thousands, mind you, for endless exploration, mobs and bosses for you to take down, 10 full-time developers, hundreds of thousands of players. They have very grandiose expectations for this game, don't they? They expect within the alpha, over the next 6 months alone, to have hundreds of thousands of players and an additional 7 developers, or 8 full-time developers at least. That is crazy. Like, these guys right here are looking to not only take on Ashes of Creation, but make it look like it is being developed by a bunch of kids with crayons. Their long-term vision. The vision is that DreamWorld is the endgame. Every genre, every style, every game type there has been and will be, all in one world. Wow, every single gaming genre, every single gaming style, every single game type there has been since the inception of the gaming industry, and every single feature and every single game type there will ever be, all in this game right here. They were right. This is the last game you will ever play, because this right here is going to offer everything. This is apparently the pinnacle of gaming. Man, built by each player on the back of accessible and powerful modular user interfaces. Think ZBrush, Photoshop, and SketchUp, but in-game and easier. Creator-centric crafting economy. Using simple tools and guided by quick tutorials, you can learn how to create your own 3D models for items that you and others might need or want in your builds and adventures. Imbue them with useful functions like lighting, extra damage, low weight, knockback, and a plethora of exciting magical properties. Not artistically inclined? Import 3D models from anywhere online, and DreamWorld will help you turn them into exactly what you were looking for. Wait, so you mean to tell me I can import all my waifus from a game like Genshin Impact and have them all present in this game? Dude, I am sold. Where do I sign up for this? I can't even back this anymore. I am honestly legitimately disappointed now, because this was my opportunity to have an entire army of Genshin waifus. Maybe I'll import Honkai Impact waifus into it as well. Man, I'm gonna have like an army, an entire castle of thousands of different anime waifus. This is gonna be great. Like, can you imagine the endless possibilities? Now, the multiplayer infrastructure. We are not using Unreal Engine's native multiplayer. This is one of the secret sauces that allow us to scale to so many players. To summarize the tech, we don't have a centralized server model, which is what nearly every other game has. We instead run DreamWorld as a distributed system where it mostly runs on everyone's computer. You can think of it like everyone has their own parallel dimension of DreamWorld, and they all quickly synchronize with each other. This technology is pretty much invisible to the player. You can't tell the difference from a central server model, but it's what allows us to scale to so many more players. Could this leave the game potentially more vulnerable to hacking? That is one of the challenges, but it is solved by having what's connecting everyone validate the input of what the client said. This is actually the same as how all multiplayer games handle hacking. We've already successfully implemented this technology, and you should come give it a try in our pre-alpha. I'm no professional here. I don't really know much about video game design, but I feel like even having the game send packets from your computer to the server, you will still run into instances where there is immense lag, especially when there are players from other countries, other continents entirely from around the world, because they are running on a completely different connection to you. Or at least that's how I see things. Now again, I'm not a professional here. To me, this just sounds like a bunch of gibberish, but I do have a basic understanding of how packets sent versus packets received work, and I feel like this still will not really function nearly as well as they are claiming it will. And if that were the case, why are other developers not utilizing this specifically? Now, this is going to be available on Windows and Mac, and yeah, that is pretty much all of the information that was readily available on their Kickstarter, and that is crazy. Like, the fact that people read through that and they legitimately thought that all of that was real, all of that was possible, baffles me. Now, they recently set up a website as well, and I had honestly been waiting to see the website. The first few weeks of the game's Kickstarter really had nothing, but now they have a website. It is literally just a trailer with a link to their Kickstarter, offering you the option of joining their newsletter and a privacy policy. That's it. It is literally nothing. I mean, my friend who has been creating websites for 30 minutes now could have designed a website like this. This is about as basic as they could have created. And considering how much money they have, how much funding they have acquired, I don't know why they didn't hire professional graphic designers, professional coders to code them a website, especially considering this has been in development for over 8 months now. Now, guys, I know you have all been waiting for a new MMORPG to play. I do. Trust me, I know. I am in the same boat. I run an MMO-centric YouTube channel covering every single MMO I can. MMO news, indie MMOs, foreign MMOs, like, trust me, I understand how much we are all waiting, how much we have riding on the new upcoming MMOs, but this game, DreamWorld, is not a game that we should be looking forward to playing. This is not a game that we should be actively supporting. The fact that there were 663 people that backed this game, that gave them $64,706 is ridiculous. It is asinine. It is inane. It is just I'm at a loss for words. I'm sorry. It is just a waste of money. If you wanted to waste $64,000, you literally should have just taken out a note, lit it on fire. You would have gotten more out of it than you're going to get out of this game. Now, this is not something that we should be A, actively supporting, or B, even waiting to play. This is a scam. This is 100% a scam. There have been plenty of other content creators that have done videos on this that have warned you guys against supporting them, that have warned you guys against backing them. Yet, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, they indirectly helped fund the game, that indirectly helped acquired almost $65,000. Now, allow me to further inform you all that this is a scam, that you should not be supporting this, and to let you know that there are better games coming. We have games like PSO2 New Genesis coming out in June. We have New World, we have Elion, we have Lost Ark, we have Blue Protocol. We have so many different games that are upcoming, so many different MMOs to look forward to that we know are actually going to release a product for us to play, not that are going to require us to give them money and never produce anything solid for us to even log into, for us to even test. So do your due diligence, guys. If you see a game that promises you the world and they are asking for money to help make this happen, just don't believe them. It's really that simple. Now, if you guys over at DreamWorld are legitimately making a game off of the minor amount of money that you have raised here, then more power to you. I genuinely, legitimately, 100% wish for this to be a real MMO so I can one day cover it, but I just do not think it is, and I would not, unfortunately, recommend this to anyone ever. Now, that is everything I wanted to talk about with regards to DreamWorld. I know that some of you may have backed this game. I know some of you have been, or a lot of you have been wanting me to cover this for the last month and a half now. These are my thoughts now that the Kickstarter funding process has ended and you guys aren't really capable of funding it any further. This is my way of guaranteeing you guys don't waste your money on it. You're welcome, I guess. But I do want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below what you think of all this, what you think of Kickstarter MMOs in general, what you think of the fact that 663 people backed this, and they literally raised almost $65,000, and these two guys are going to split that money, and they're going to walk away with it, literally walk away with over $30,000 each from literally making a trailer using Unreal Engine assets. It is ridiculous. But let's discuss this in the comment section below and hopefully prevent this from happening in the future. Anyway, guys, that is it for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh.